Hello everybody, this is Star Wars Productions, and today I will be breaking down the Bad Batch trailer. The trailer opens with the Bad Batch coming in through a hangar on Kamino. This will probably take place in the first 1 or 2 episodes, as I think it's the first time they arrive on Kamino. We then see some tests being run on the Bad Batch in the clone training facilities, which were first seen in the Clone Wars Season 3 Episode 1 Clone Cadets episode, where we see Domino Squad training to become part of the Grand Army of the Republic. We see 2 training scenes in the trailer, one where they all work as a team, and one where Wrecker just wrecks and takes out a lot of Dark Troopers. And talking about Dark Troopers, why are they here? Because in The Mandalorian, it said that Dark Troopers had just been made fully droids. But then when Hunter hits one with a vibroblade, it hits out sparks, suggesting that this is a droid. So why are they droids when they said very recently that they only just became droids in the time after the Empire in The Mandalorian? After they defeat the Dark Troopers and droids, we then see 2 shots again, one of them standing triumphantly as a team, and one of Wrecker shouting at Tarkin saying, "What else you've got? Give me more." This then transitions in to V-Wings flying around Kamino. After the V-Wings fly past, we transition into a shot of the Bad Batch standing in a hallway of Kamino, while Hunter says that our squad's nothing but trouble, and we then transition to a shot of him stealing a speeder bike on a planet that I'm not sure what is yet, as it's not Coruscant because that's much busier and the lighting's different, and it's not anywhere else that I know of, so I'm excited to see that, and it might be a new planet, which would be really exciting. We then see the Bad Batch running into a cluster of B-1 battle droids on what I think could be Kashyyyk. We then see Tech using a bit of technology to take down the rest of the droids. I think this is a bit like the droid poppers we've seen in Clone Wars, but better. We then see a big explosion on a similar planet, even the same, so I think this is Kashyyyk. And I think that would work because in the forgotten storylines of Clone Wars, the unfinished ones, we see the Bad Batch going to Kashyyyk during Order 66, I think, or maybe just before. So if they're on Kashyyyk at the very start of it, and then they get called into Kamino, I think that would work, and then this would be just them finishing off the clankers. We then see the Bad Batch walking through this explosion, and I can see Hunter spinning a vibroblade and then putting it back in its holder, and Wrecker holding up Echo over his head, so maybe Echo has an injury, or maybe Wrecker's just having a bit of a laugh. And then it goes into the girl, and she says, "Your Clone Force 99, and then says Hunter, and we see a shot of Hunter and Tech, where Tech has his armour but Hunter doesn't, and this could be on Coruscant maybe of them escaping somewhere. We then see Echo, and he says the hyperdrive's ready, and Tech when he's pushing the hyperdrive into action. And then we see Wrecker, who is saying, "I want to blow something up," and then he blows up a Star Destroyer engine, Venator Star Destroyer. And I think this could be on Braca, as it could be the Crush Star Destroyer from Clone Wars, the Venator Star Destroyer from Clone Wars, but I don't think Rex would want to blow up something that people died for, and I think he'd respect that. So I think this could be Braca, which would be really cool and link the Jedi Fallen Order game. It could also be the Star Destroyer that was crashed in the finale of Season 7 of the Clone Wars, but I don't think it would be, as we see this Star Destroyer later on in the trailer when Captain Rex arrives, and I don't think Captain Rex would blow that Star Destroyer's engine up, as that's where some men of his died, and he would want to respect that their deaths meant something and they thought they were doing the right thing. And yes, looking back with like hindsight, we know it wasn't, but to them they were just following orders, so I think Rex would respect that. We then move on to Crosshair, where he shoots Hunter's vibroblade and then it goes into a Dark Trooper. And then we move into the four of the Bad Batch, Echo, Hunter, Wrecker and Tech, all standing in the explosion from earlier in the trailer, and I believe this is Kashyyyk still. We then see Tarkin arrive at Kamino in the same type of shuttle as the one Ahsoka arrived at Christophsis at in the Clone Wars film, and this is pretty cool as it's in a different colour scheme, in a more darker colour scheme, so it fits in with the Empire. And we then hear Tarkin say that I want Clone Force 99 hunted down and executed, and he comes with some Coruscant guard troopers, or just guard troopers for high level people in the Empire and the Republic. And this is pretty cool to see them come back. We see Grand Moff Tarkin, or Tarkin, I'm not sure whether he's been promoted to that yet, and he's standing at a holographic table like he's analysing something. And while we're on Tarkin, in that first training scene on Kamino, what is up with his legs? Like, they go really bulky out. It's really weird. I just wanted to point that out, as I know a few other people that have picked up on that, and it does look really weird. And I found that they found it really hard to capture Tarkin in animation. So I feel like they did it well for his younger self in the Clone Wars. Now they've not done it as well for Bad Batch. And then they didn't do it as well for Rebels. He looked a bit strange in that. But then we move on to this shot of Fennec Shand pointing a gun at someone, we're not sure who. We then see Tech and Hunter firing at this animal. It's almost like a dragony type thing. It's got wings and also legs. And then I think this is on Zygeria, and I also see a kind of outpost type thing in the background, so maybe they're trying to send a message out to clones who did not follow Order 66, maybe Captain Rex. We then see Hunter saying to the Bad Batch that they need to get out of here, and they're almost in like Imperial, like the the pajama type thing that goes under like the armour, and we see them running out into a hallway. And weird thing is that we don't see Crosshair running out into the hallway, but we see him when Hunter is saying we need to get out of here. I'll talk a bit more about that near the end of the video. We then see the four Bad Batch, apart from Crosshair, go to the little girl person and say, do you want to come with us? And then it moves on to a different shot of her with Tech in his armour saying, how can I help? And then we move into this kind of space battle type thing with the Bad Batch flying through space and these small ships coming after them. And I think this is Zygerian ships. And we also see Hunter shooting at them from behind. And we didn't see this part of the shuttle in Clone Wars, but it's plausible that it's there and it's not a new ship. And then we move to one of the best shots in the trailer, and it's the Bad Batch. Apart from Crosshair, this could just be him not appearing in the shot, but Captain Rex is there, and this is amazing to see that he is going to be in the show. So we could see how he meets with Gregor and Wolf and helps them take out their inhibitor chip, and when they go into hiding. And I think this could be Bracca as well, as we see the destroyed Star Destroyer, the Venator Star Destroyer, but I do not think Captain Rex would have gone back to that moon. And then we move into this little girl firing a bow and arrow that is very similar to the one that that Night Sisters used in the Clone Wars. And during this we hear Saw Gerrera talking, And then we see the Bad Batch using an AT-AT to fire at another AT-AT, and I think this is on Onderon. And this is because we then see Saw Gerrera, so that confirms him in the series, and that's going to make this series really cool. As I did really enjoy the arc in Clone Wars about Onderon, and it'll be good to see what happened after the Republic took over and the Empire then became the Republic. And we then see Hunter on the same speeder bike that he stole earlier, but this time with the girl on the back. And then he throws an explosive at Fennec Shand on her speeder, who falls off in the explosion onto another speeder, which is a taxi type. And then it goes back to Saw Gerrera, and it then shows Fennec Shand landing on the ground while her speeder crashes in front of her, which is the same shot as it explodes as we saw in the first trailer. So it's cool to see how that happened. We then transition into a shot of Hunter saying, "We do what we do," and then it goes into Wrecker falling down into Vader's droids, which I think are security droids, and he then takes them all down, throwing some of them at others to take some out. And we see a shot from the first trailer, which is Hunter fighting the Zygerian, which is definitely confirms that the Hunter was fighting that other like dragony type thing on Zygeria, because in the background you can see the same building as what him and Tech were fighting earlier in the trailer. We then go into a shot of the Bad Batch ship flying through space, and it quickly goes to the interior where Hunter is saying to the girl, "Strap in, kids." And then it moves on to Tech pushing the hyperdrive thing forward, and then them jumping into hyperspace. And then we see the Bad Batch logo, and that is the end of the trailer. And that is a really good trailer, and when you look at it closely, there's a lot of information about what happens and what's going to happen in the Bad Batch. So now I've got a couple more things to cover on, and the first of which is, where's Crosshair? Because we see him about 3 times in the trailer, 2 of which being in the training scenes on Kamino, and 1 being when Hunter says that they need to get out of this place. But then we don't see him when they're running through the hallways, or when Hunter's asking the girl if she wants to come with them. And we don't see him at all in the rest of the trailer. And obviously this could be clever editing, and it could just be trying to trick us. But it also makes me link it to Hunter not having his armour for some of it. So now into the second bit, my idea for the plot. So I think this is going to start with the Bad Batch on Kashyyyk, where we see them taking out those droids and the big explosion. So I think that's where it's going to start. And then I think they're going to get called into Kamino for some tests, and they might have the Empire try put inhibitor chips in them under Moff Tarkin's order. I think it will be Moff Tarkin here, as I don't think he'll be promoted to Grand Moff Tarkin. And I think then they'll realise they have to escape, and I think they'll then meet up with Captain Rex, and there'll probably be an episode of 2 with him involved. And then he'll go to Zygeria. But one thing I think will happen, I think the Bad Batch will have a bit of an argument, and I think Crosshair and Hunter will stay with the Empire while the rest go and just try live out their lives outside of war. But I think Hunter will realise what he's done and rejoin them, and I think this is why for parts of the trailer he does not have his armour, and this is why I think Crosshair's not there for some time, because it is weird how he's not there, because there are some group shots in this that are outside Kamino and he's not there, and I think that's really weird, and I think it's going to be part of the plot of the show. And yeah, I think it's going to end with them going into a new life outside of war. And I think that'll be really interesting to see what's happening. So, thank you for watching this video. Comment down below what you think of the trailer and any ideas you got from the plot. And this is my first breakdown, so comment down below what you thought of it and thought of this style. And thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And this is Star Wars Productions. Signing